Hi, my name is Antoine and I'm a shamanic healer and ceremonialist. Today I wanted to make a brief video about the benefits of including some shamanic practice and animistic practice into your life. I've made a video about shamanic initiation, and we're talking here about fairly extreme levels of experience and a very defined and specialized experience, and its outcome really, a very specialized person. Now, not everyone, as I mentioned, in my own opinion, has that kind of path and destiny, if you want to talk about destiny. Now, how, if that's not the case, what is the benefit really of shamanic and animistic practice? What can we do with this? And I wanted to just speak about a few key elements. I mentioned that animism is underlying really in shamanism, that relationship towards nature. And nature is really the environment we are in and part of us, and we are really nature itself, from the bacteria within our bellies to the water and fire and air and earth within our bones and sinews and lungs. Many of our nervous systems resemble the structure of certain plants, and they've been developed really in the same way, by really the same spirit essences. So the animism that's underlying in shamanism is really our own reconnection to the understanding, but the experience mostly, that we are beings of nature, and we should never really, in order to be to feel happy and connected to life, we should never really stray away from that experience of nature. We should actually watch over it. The ecology of nature is also our own ecology. It's even the ecology of our own minds, really, and even our souls, or spirits anyway. So animism is really the understanding mindset, set of traditions in some cases, that allows us to experience life as an extension of us, and us as an extension of life, and an expression of life itself and of nature itself. So developing a really profound animistic relationship, learning to reconnect to what is really there, is a key element really of what animism can bring into our lives. Going to establish friendship really with nature is allowing ourselves to establish relationship also with ourselves. The joy that comes from it is a joy that nourishes life. And when we do that, we also find meaning. We don't have to look for meaning. Meaning is there, present. Nature starts also providing its own meaning in our own lives. It starts guiding us. It starts saying, really, as the branch and tree, or branch or tree that you are, I want to express myself in this way, reach for the clouds in that way, shelter those beings beneath my and your trunk. It shows the way. So we start really just stumbling in the dark, trying to find the meaning of life. It is there, present in the relationship itself. This is a priceless thing. In my opinion, it's very difficult to be happy as a human being, and certainly as a modern human being, in a very rootless environment, without feeling those roots, connecting to those roots, reconnecting to those roots. that were never really gone. They're present within the body. They're present within the deep psyche of man. So that's one aspect. When we're talking about shamanism, even if you're not a shaman or meant to be a shaman, or you are or you are a shamanic practitioner, you're learning some shamanic healing stuff and practice, deepening it, but you're not meant to be really someone in the service of a community. Or if you're a person who just wants to learn some shamanism, but maybe does not feel like he has the gift or the willingness to spend long hours with people, then learning, for example, to work with trance states is a very healing thing, really. Not everyone goes, I think, to the same level in the trance states and the exploration of what it opens into. But all human beings experience various forms of altered states, trance states if you wanted to call them that, when they're being creative, when they're immersed in life, in something they profoundly like to do, when they are in the woods and they're walking, when they are dancing. And accessing those kind of widened states of consciousness, you will access the intelligence of life that is beyond your restricted mind, beyond the understanding that your mind has of the world, the perception, what I call the qualifying perception of the world. It would allow you to merge. It will allow you also to be connected in the same way I was mentioning during those times. It would allow you to retrieve knowledge, information, teaching to some level, sometimes to deep levels for you. Just because you are entering into some level of the spirit world or imaginal world or archetypal world, you might establish a connection to certain beings or archetypes, or spirit allies, as I mentioned in another video, and they might just guide you in your everyday life. They might guide you in your creative endeavors, whether you're a writer, whether you're a housewife or houseman, whether you are a craftsman, whether you are working with community. They will give you a wide perspective. They will help you when you are feeling stuck and your mind is not finding the solution. That is also a priceless aspect of shamanistic practice, connecting to the wider intelligence within yourself and within life, even if it's to serve, and especially also if it's to serve in everyday life. There's no hierarchy here of higher or lower, of proper, shamanic use really here. There's other things beyond also healing with this. I think those are really important aspects that one can connect to. They will transform our relationship to life, help us return also to a state of unity and harmony of relationship with the different parts of ourselves. We are a family also of beings, and they need to express themselves, and they need also to work in a harmonious way with one another. Nature teaches us that. Now also on an ecological level, I think animistic practice and shamanic practice in the ecology it brings in the different aspects of ourselves they will allow us to listen to the way the world wants to have balance restored when it's disrupted. The spirits of nature themselves will teach us to have proper ecology and harmony with the space where we're living. They will teach us to have proper actions in order for the world to grow back to a place that is harmonious, where the different pollutions and the different disruptions can be restored. Having relationship with the various beings of fire, nature, air and water, they will teach us where we are emphasizing too much of some of them and we are neglecting some others. We will learn also to honor and restore the place where they live. I'm close to a river, and the spirits of the river and the spirits of water are very neglected here. This will create other imbalances in the world, such as too much fire, for example. This will create inadequate human behavior, too much fire. And this will kind of compound the ecological problems, not to talk about social, political and other problems. So this is a very important part and a very important contribution of shamanism and animism. I hope this kind of recap of a few points of how they can help us is a helpful one to you. Have a very good practice. Blessings.